When did you end up meeting Kanye, and how did you meet him?
Kanye, funny story. Kanye came from the Aftermath tree. I was playing keys for Aftermath. They would call me for sessions when they had a producer in town who needed a musician. So I'm actually on my way. I think I was on my way to a date or something. And then Angelo, shout out to Angelo Sanders, who was an A&R at the time. Angelo hit me like, "Hey, yo, man, I got a producer in town. Can you go to Larrabee for a session?" And I'm like, I almost didn't answer the phone because I didn't want to go. I was on my way somewhere. And I took the call. I was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll stop by there." Went by there, and there was a little producer named Kanye West that I ended up producing like 3 songs for in that very first session. From that session, "Never Lets Me Down" was born, and Jay-Z, um, "Dreams" with Faith Evans and Biggie on the hook. I made those with him in that very first session.
Whoa, okay, you going a little fast now. Okay, like wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. So from at that time, did he have a buzz already? What year is this?
This has to be about 2003. He didn't really have a buzz. I didn't know who he was. I was just like, he's a producer from Chicago. So, and it worked out that way because I'm very rarely starstruck anyway. So it was just like, and another funny story is he was on the phone and I'm waiting around like, bro, I don't really even want to be here anyway, right? So I go upstairs and start shooting pool. And he go up and get me after a while. "Hey, man, I need you in the studio." I'm like, "All right." So I come down, we do a song. He get back on the phone. What am I to do? Let me go back upstairs and finish playing pool. Came back up. "Hey, dog, I wasn't really finished with you." And that very first session, we got enough chemistry, and that was the first of many. I worked with him 3 years straight. Um, and even lending to his sound because I added. He was like, after a couple other sessions, "You got a guitar player?" "Sure, I'm gonna call my man Glenn. Glenn Jeffrey, shout out to Glenn." "Man, I need a bass player." "No problem. Let me call my man Keenan Holloway." Call Keenan, and we locked in that sound for 3 years. Late Registration, College Dropout, a bunch of Demita Joe stuff, and like everything he was doing.
Right.
And so we was in there.
So that first session, what's the first one that you did? Never Let Me Down or A Dream was first?
I believe Never Lets Me Down. He was like, "Hey, can you give me a bass line on this? Can you play keys on this? Can you give me strings on this?" And he was impressed. So he just kept having me add layers. And yeah, that was it.
So for Never Let Me Down, you only saw the production part of it getting made, and then later on you hear the full song. Like you weren't there for like the recording of the song, right?
Yeah, I was just the musical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
What
just
was like
tracked it.
your first impression of him though? Like how did he like come across to you?
He was not like now. He was very humble. No issues at all. It was a good session.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I didn't have nowhere else to be, it'd have been a little bit different. But
Right.
vibed and we created a synergy and that kept us working nonstop for 3 years straight. So
When you guys were making those beats, did he tell you like, hey, this one I'm thinking about going to Jay-Z, or like this one's I'm thinking about my solo album, or you guys were just creating and you didn't know?
nah, I never knew. We was just building, and it would turn into this, it turn into that. Now when he started producing his own album because the labels didn't believe in him, I knew that because like he was paying us out his pocket for that. We was making them in his hotel room. That was after he was grounded from his car accident.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I'm giving you some jewels, huh?
right. So at the time, like, when do you find out that song is going to be featured on Jay-Z's Blueprint 2, and that Biggie was going to be on there and Faith Evans was going to be on there?
I think for that was early on, so I figured that out. I figured that out when it came out.
Like when it was released on the album was released?
Yeah. When it was, yeah, I found out when that was released. And then he was in such demand that no matter what we did, it was coming out. So it's not like, okay, we're going to use the hottest producer in the game and we're not going to use this song. We're not going to use, they was using everything we're making. So at some point it became just like, I'd be shocked if they didn't use